Today I'll be breaking down my wife's top prospects for 2024 Bowman. Welcome to Holoflix Prospecting. This is Holoflix. I'm your host, Junior Pardo. Without further ado, let's get right into this breakdown. For some backstory and some context, I collect baseball cards. So I gave my wife the 2024 Bowman checklist and I told her, pick your prospects. Whoever you like the most, pick them. I don't care why you're picking them. Here's the list. Go for it. She didn't show me her list until right now that I'm making this video. Didn't show me the list, nothing. I just told her, just do it. Write your reasoning down for it. I don't care what it is. This is your list. So she made her list and we have some notes that she wrote down. Let's get into this breakdown. This prospect that my wife chose is Luke Adams. He is a prospect for the Milwaukee Brewers. He's 6'4", 210 pounds, and his card prices right now are $20. This is what she wrote about why she chose Luke Adams. Basic name, I like it. That was it. That is all she wrote. So let's go into his stats and see how she did picking these prospects. So for 2024, he had a batting average of 227 with a 443 on-base percentage, a 397 slugging, 832 OPS, with a 154 WRC plus, which you guys know that means he's 54% better than the players in his league. With 26.6 weighted runs above average. That means he is worth 27 runs above the average hitter in the league. That is insane. Now, his K percentages are very low at 21.3 and a WOBA of 409. That is amazing for Luke Adams. Now, he has great bat-to-ball skills. He possesses a projectable frame to hit homers, but he cannot lift the ball. So right now, the Milwaukee Brewers organizations are working with him on that based on what I read for on the scouting reports. He walks a ton. As we can see, 409 WOBA means he gets on base a lot. He walks like, I think it's 17% of the time. He also has great speed with 28 stolen bases last year. Likely will get slower as his body starts to mature more. So let me know, how do you think my wife did with that prospect, with Luke Adams? Up next, we have what I like to call a freak of nature of a prospect. And that is going to be Chicago's White Sox own George Walco. He's 6'7", 239 pounds, and his card prices are $25. Now, let's see what it was that my wife said about George Walco. She said the following. Hear me out. His K percentage is one of the worst I've seen, but he's young. 11 home runs, and I believe. That's exactly what she said. And I think it's great because she picked him because he's 19 years old, right? She picked him because he's 19 years old and he's already in A-ball, but his K numbers are horrible. Look at that, 40.3%. But like I wrote down here, his production remains good. Let's look at his numbers for 2024. He batted .257 with a 357 on-base percentage, 451 slugging, 808 OPS with a 130 WRC plus. 30% better than the rest of the hitters in the league. That's the way it goes. 15.2 weighted runs above average. That massive number of 40.3 K percentage with a WOBA of 382. Now, you guys can see down here, even though he has really high K numbers, his production remains good. He already has the frame for massive power, and he's still adding more muscle. He's only 19. And I've seen his tape. After my wife gave me her list, after she gave me her list, I went and looked at him because I saw that size. And I was like, he's got to have some power. It's easy. Easy power comes with George Walco. Now, he profiles better as a right fielder with a great arm strength. But he does have some swing and miss problems due to his size because he's a left-handed hitter. He has a slower swing, so naturally he struggles. And we can tell that with the 40K numbers that he has. But as long as he keeps producing, I don't think the K numbers are going to be that big of a problem. Much like Ellie de la Cruz, Ellie had high elevated K numbers as well, but he brought him down from like 38 to like 33%. And, he kept his production up. So if George Walco can do the same thing, I think he's going to plan out long term because he has the projectable frame to be a good player. So what do you guys think? Let me know. What do you think of my wife's choice in George Walco? Let me know in the comments below. Up next, we have Gino Groover. For the Arizona Diamondbacks, he's 6'2", 212 pounds, and his card prices right now are going anywhere between $10 and $20. Let's see what it was my wife said about Gino Groover, what caught her eye about him. She said, I don't know if he's too old, but his numbers are great. I approve. So that's why she chose Gino Groover. Now, let's take a look at his 2024 numbers. He batted .281 with a .367 on-base percentage, .474 slugging, .841 OPS with a 133 WRC plus and a 10.5 weighted runs above average. And this kid is insane. He barely Ks. He only struck out 13.6% of the time with a WOBA of 385. Now, this is my write-up about him. He has great plate approach. He has never struck out more than 16% of the time in his entire minor league career. He has projectable frame that could translate into power as he develops. He makes contact 91% of the time against fastballs, but struggles versus changeup. Likely to stay at second base due to his poor arm strength. But that's Gino Groover. Let me know in the comments below, how do you think my wife is doing so far with her picks from 2024 Bowman Sleeper Prospects? Let me know in the comments below. I would like to hear from you because so far I think she's done great. Now we have Joelyn Cespedes for the Boston Red Sox. He's 5'8", 181 pounds, and his card prices are $30 to $40. I think he has one of the most expensive card prices in this list, and let's see why. This is what my wife said. He's 18 years old. He's in the complex league. I like it. 297 ISO. She went and looked up the stats. 297 ISO with 18.1 K percentage, which is right here. So that's why she said she picked Joelyn Cespedes. So let's take a look at his numbers from the complex league. He batted .319 with a 400 on-base percentage, 615 slugging, 1015 OPS, 163 WRC plus. That is unbelievable. With a 9.3 weighted runs above average, 18.1 K percentage, and a 464 weighted on base average. Yes, I know this is the complex league, so we know we have to wait till he gets to A-ball, quite possibly AA, but the numbers look very promising for Joelyn Cespedes so far. Let's see what the write-up says. He regularly barrels the ball and produces high exit velocities. He has power to produce at least 20 homers a year. He needs to adjust his approach and lay off more pitches. He has fringy speed and range, so it's likely he will end up at second base or left field. And if he doesn't get it together, he could possibly end up at first base or DHing. We will see what happens with Joelyn Cespedes. But so far, he looks like a very promising prospect. Up next, we have Luis Baez for the Houston Astros. He's 6'1", 225 pounds, and the card prices are $10 to $20. Let's see what my wife said about Luis Baez. Let me look for her little write-up. And here are her notes. Here they are. Those are her notes. So she said about Luis Baez, age 20, level AA, which is great. No cool name. He got promoted and struggling. That is normal. We all know that once you get promoted, you're going to struggle at first. But 20 home runs in high A seems cool to me. Hey, seems cool to me too. Let's look at his numbers because they're pretty good. In 2024, he batted .267 with 328 on-base percentage, 488 slugging, 816 OPS with a 112 WRC plus and 7.1 weighted runs above average. Now, his K numbers are elevated. He needs to bring them down because he's K'ing 26.1% of the time. He also had a 342 weighted on base average. Now, let's see what the write-up has to say. He has better bat speed and hits balls harder than most players his age. He possesses at least 30 homer power. I forgot to write power. He possesses at least 30 homer power. He struggles versus the slider, so he needs to start practicing and getting the slider down. He was supposed to be a center field long term, but weight concerns have jeopardized that. So they're probably going to end up moving him probably to first base or DH. So if he cannot get his weight under control, they'll probably move him because he won't be able to play center field if he doesn't have the range and the speed because of his weight. So the final player that my wife picked is Boston Bayrow for the New York Mets. He's 6 feet tall, 170 pounds, and his card prices are going anywhere between $15 and $20. Let's see what her little write-up has to say about Boston Bayrow. All right, she said, age 20, high A, cool name, K percentage 20.4, young, I think. WRC plus sucks, but he's young, I think. He is young. He's 20 years old in high A. That's good. He's on track. He's on track to be in Double A by 21, which is a great age to be in Double A. Now let's take a look at his numbers for 2024. That is probably going to include 2 levels for A ball and high A. So let's take a look at him. So in 2024, he batted .278 with a 358 on base percentage, 390 slugging, 748 OPS. So off the bat, we know he's not going to be a slugger. He had a 117 WRC plus. She wrote WRC plus sucks. It doesn't suck. That's actually 17% better than the average hitter. So that's a good thing. And he had 8.7 weighted runs above average with an 18.1 K percentage and a 358 weighted on base average. He is not as good as the other prospects we've taken a look in this list, but he is going to be a good prospect because he is a very good defender. Now, let's take a look at the write-up. He profiles as an average over power hitter, so he's going to bat for average, not for power. Has a projectable frame, by scouts believe he'll be a late bloomer. So if he has a projectable frame and scouts believe he's going to be a late bloomer, are we looking forward to home runs this year? I think that's what the scouts mean. So let's see what happens in 2025. Now, he projects as a middle infielder, but has the arm strength to play the hot corner. Yes, he has a cannon of an arm. And he's an average runner. So he's more than likely going to be either third base or second base, because if he's an average runner, then that brings into question the range that he has to play shortstop. So we'll see what happens in 2025. But that right there were my wife's sleeper prospects for 2024 Bowman. Let me know in the comments, how do you think she did? I think she did amazing for being her first time prospecting by herself. I just gave her the list and I told her, here, pick your prospects. Let me know when you're done. I'll take a look at the list and then I'll make a video about it, because I think it's a pretty cool concept that my wife helps me prospect all the time. And I think more wives should get involved with their husband in collecting and card collecting and prospecting, because it is fun. Yeah, it's a lot of numbers, but it is fun. My wife had a lot of fun doing it. I didn't want her to write any technical things. I just wanted her to do it her way, and she did. Let me know in the comments below how you think she did. If you like this type of content, please do not forget to subscribe to this video, leave a like in the video, and turn notifications on to know every single time I post. Thank you for watching. Until next time, I am out of here. Peace.